Israeli forces bombard Gaza, killing 60 people since midnight after the military orders Palestinians in the southern city of Khan Yunus to flee ahead of an unprecedented attack. Meanwhile, the leaders of Canada, France and the UK threatened to take concrete action against Israel if it does not end its renewed offensive in Gaza, while 22 countries urge Israel to lead aid into the besieged enclave. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has dismissed the calls and pledges to press on with the offensive, which includes plans for Israel to take control of the whole of Gaza. Israel's attack on Gaza has killed at least 53,475 Palestinians and wounded 1,21,398 according to Gaza's health ministry. The government media office updated the death toll to more than 61,700. The Trump administration is planning to impose a 5% tax on outward remittances. In President Donald Trump's big priority bill, there is a proposal for a 5% excise tax on remittance transfers that would cover millions of people, including those holding green cards and H-1B visas. A provision proposed under the bill, called the One Big Beautiful Bill, states that this provision imposes a 5% excise tax on remittance transfers, which will be paid for by the center with respect to such transfers. The remittance shall be applied to any international remittance unless the transferor is a verified U.S. sender. The provision requires that the tax be collected by the remittance transfer providers, and the remittance transfer providers are responsible for remitting such tax quarterly to the Secretary of the Treasury, it says. Notably, no minimum limit has been set in the proposed bill. This means even small transactions will be taxed unless the sender qualifies as a verified U.S. sender, defined as a U.S. citizen or a national. The U.S. State Department said that it was imposing visa restrictions on owners and other staff at India-based travel agencies that it says unknowingly facilitate illegal migration to the United States. An unspecified number of unnamed people linked to travel agencies in India were being hit with visa bans under the Immigration and Nationality Act based on information gathered by the U.S. mission to India, U.S. State Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce said in a statement. Washington often issues visa bans without publishing the names of those targeted. The move comes amid President Donald Trump's broad crackdown on migration to the United States and efforts to deport undocumented immigrants in the country. The U.S. Embassy in New Delhi has repeatedly posted on its social media sites warning for Indian nationals visiting the United States not to overstay their authorized period of stay in the country, warning they will face deportation and a permanent ban from entering the country for doing so. U.S. President Donald Trump says Russia and Ukraine will immediately start negotiating towards a ceasefire and an end to the war after a 2-hour phone call with Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin. Trump, who described the conversation as having gone very well, also said conditions for peace would need to be negotiated between the two parties. Despite the note of optimism from Trump, who also spoke with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, any ceasefire or peace deal does not appear close. Putin said he was ready to work with Ukraine on a memorandum on a possible future peace agreement, while Zelensky said this is a defining moment and urged the U.S. not to distance itself from talks. While Trump has expressed positivity towards this conversation with Putin, there was no indication about when peace negotiations would take place, nor did the Russian president address demands from the U.S. and European countries for an unconditional 30-day ceasefire. After his one-on-one call with Trump, Zelensky reaffirmed Ukraine's desire for a full and unconditional ceasefire and warned if Moscow is not ready, there must be stronger sanctions. Writing on his Truth Social page after the call, Trump said Russia and Ukraine will immediately start negotiations toward a ceasefire and, more importantly, an end to the war, adding he had informed Zelensky of this in a second call, which also included other world leaders. Advisor to the Ministries of Shipping and Labour and Employment Brigadier General retired Dr. M. Shafqat Hussain today extended financial support totaling 1.20 crore taka to the families of those who lost their lives in ship accidents. During the distribution event at BSC Tower, he handed over checks to the bereaved families of 4 who tragically lost their lives in accidents aboard of MT Banglar Jyoti and MT Banglar Shora. Each of the families of deceased cadets and sailors received 30 lakh taka. Expressing deep condolences, the advisor prayed for the eternal peace of the deceased cadets and sailors, reaffirming his commitment to aiding those impacted by such tragedies. The advisor said there are plans to purchase 2 LNG ships to make its activities more extensive and profitable. Now weather. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said light to moderate rain, thunder showers with lightning flashes and temporary gusty wind is likely to occur at many places over Rangpur, Mymensingh and Sylhet divisions, at a few places over Rajshahi, Dhaka and Chattogram divisions, and at 1 or 2 places over Khulna and Borishal divisions, with moderately heavy to heavy falls at places over Rangpur, Mymensingh and Sylhet divisions. Night and day temperature may remain nearly unchanged over the country. Today, country's highest temperature was recorded 37 degrees Celsius in Joshore. Dhaka's highest temperature was 34.4 degrees Celsius. Now, news on sports. Defending champions Bosundhara Kings thrashed Fakirpur Young Men's Club by 7-2 goals in the Bangladesh Premier League football today. National winger Rakib scored 4 goals for the Red outfit. The match between Dhaka Mohammedans, who were just crowned as the champions against Rahmatganj at Kumilla Stadium, was suspended due to inclement weather. Bosundhara winger Rakib scored 1 before the break and added another 3 in the second half, taking his tally to 10 goals. Uzbek midfielder Muzaffarov, Rafiqul Islam and Faisal Ahmed Fahim scored apiece. Bosundhara have 28 points at the end of round 16, 15 adrift of Mohammedans. The match between Mohammedan and Rahmatganj lasted just 18 minutes before heavy rain forced the game to be suspended. The remaining part will be played tomorrow at 1 p.m. In the other match of the day, Brothers Union registered a 5-0 victory over relegation-threatened Wanderers. The 35th National Men's Handball Competition 2025, organized by the Bangladesh Handball Federation, has started today. President of the Handball Federation and Director General of the National Security Intelligence Service (NSI), Major General Abu Muhammad Sarwar Farid, inaugurated the tournament at the National Handball Stadium in Palton, Dhaka. Among others, Federation General Secretary Muhammad Salahuddin Ahmed, Vice President Majnu Mullah, Dr. Abu Nasser Muhammad Abdullah and Joint Secretary Rashida Afzalun Nessa were present at the event. The current champions Bangladesh Ansar, Madaripur District Sports Association and Joshore District Sports Association won in the opening day. 23 teams are participating in the 2 phases of this competition. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. Starlink launched in the country to ensure high standard and high speed internet. Bangladesh enters into the era of satellite internet. Starlink starts 2 packages residence and light. Subscribers can avail the packages from very today, says Chief Advisor Special Assistant Fayez Ahmed Toeb. Dearness allowance for the government employees is under active consideration, says Finance Advisor. Hearing on the writ of oath as mayor of Ishraq Hussain finished today, ordered tomorrow at noon. Bangladesh Railway begins advance ticket sale for Eid al-Azha tomorrow, will continue up to 27th May. 97,000 expatriates have been voted from 7 countries. Making voter of expatriates will go on, says Election Commission. Israeli bombardment killed at least 60 Palestinians. Canada, France and UK warns Israel of concrete action if attack not stopped. And Bosundhara Kings and Brothers Union win in their respective matches in BPL football. Mohammedan Rahmatganj match suspended. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us, and we also invite you to watch our 11 p.m. Bangla News. Until then, Allah Hafiz.